Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope this finds you well. Today it's starting to be more cold here. It's starting to be cooler here in Egypt. So this is why I dress up more. And of course, today is about humor. So I guess I dress up like a clown. So today is the 101 of the alignments, and it's a special code because all the gatherings that we did for 11/11, like yesterday, the ones that we did in Argentina in 2011 and 2018, were because we're all guided by an intraterrenal, an inner city of the world, and and they had this code, which is a bar circle bar, like 101, and that's the code of the portal that they use to communicate with the people. So today we are connected with 101 after the portal of 1111, so it's all perfect. And also, one of the messages that they used to say to us in those days was love humans, love, which is also related with the topic for today, which is humor. So I wrote about this in the blog today, but I just wanted to point about this, which is that these beings in the days 11/11, they remind us about laughter, because it's not only important for our culture, for ourselves to be or to feel like happy when we do things. It's not only about emotion, but it's also about is also about calibration, because our physical body is needs and finds balance through humor, okay? And the energetical bodies too, they find coherence and balance through the laughter. So to laugh is not only to feel fine, but is also to align ourselves. That would be okay. Sorry for this. Well, so laugh, humans laugh. So let's begin by humor, from where humor comes from. So something important and something important to understand about humor, the origin of the word humor. The origin of the word humor comes from human, and remember that human comes from wet land. Okay, so water and earth, so it's like mud, clay, from what we are done. In the mythology, they say humans are made of clay or mud. Okay, that's why we are humans, because we come from the wetlands. So because of this, in ancient mythologies and philosophies, they said and they thought that we as humans were made from humidity. Okay, so all the things that we have inside are different types of wetlands, and these different wetlands that we have inside, these are four. One is the blood. The other one is the phlegm. The other one is the black bilis, and the other one is the yellow bilis. bilis. I don't know how to say it. So these are the four wet lands of our body, which are the four humidities of our body. This is why in Rome they call it the four humors. Four humors. Okay, so many years later, a physician from the Roman Empire, he said that it should be another one, and this new liquid, the wet land, is in the lungs, and the lungs are the one that breathe. And breathing in Latin, you may say spirare, and spirare is the origin of the word spirit. Okay, in that time, the concept of spirit wasn't really used. They used the concept of soul. Okay, so the soul in the Greek language, we call it psyche, and psyche is the origin of the word psychology. Okay, psychology, psychiatrist, all that psycho. Okay, all these words are related to soul. Okay, so he said the soul is breathing. So this should be the fifth essence, the quintessence, they call it. And the fifth essence of the body, the fifth wet land, would be the lungs, that they call pneuma. So here is the fifth wetland that we call the fifth humor. And that's the humor of the soul. Okay? Psyche is the fifth humor. So this is how the people start to attach the concept of humor to the attribute of the soul, to the wetlands, the humidity of the soul, which is emotions. So this is how we now call humor the different attributes of the soul. Okay, but now we see the whole history of how it became that. So I guess it's very important to understand the origin of humor, as I am explaining now, because we are talking about humor in the aspect of the soul in Scorpio, in the energy of the Scorpio. So remember that Scorpio is the zodiac sign that is related with the dark water, the one that is holding all the dark emotions, everything that we have inside that we cannot see, the invisible. So the dark waters, the dirty waters, that are Scorpio. So if we understand the origin of the word humor, we will understand that since the very beginning, the mood of the soul was related to the dark waters that we have within. Okay, so that would be. So another important thing to understand, that if we understand that humor basically is talking about the waters that we have inside that gives us life, so humor is very important for us to keep living, to live, basically. So acknowledging that the humors are part of the body and the body is trying to survive, we have to understand that the four humors that we have inside are related to the physical body. Okay, and then we have another one, the last humor, that is related to the soul. And we have to remember this, that the body believes that it is limited, and the energetical body believes it's eternal. So our ethereal aspect, the energetical aspect, wants one thing, wants the transcendence, while the body looks for survival. Okay, so the body tries to hold everything and survive, and the energetical one, the soul, is trying to expand and transcend. Totally different paths. So in the physical body, we have 4 different humors trying to make the body survive as much as possible. And the other one, the only one for the soul, is the one trying to transcend. So, what we do in our daily life, everything that we do living biologically in our history is absorbing information, constant information, but all that information that we receive is stored in our inner waters, because mostly 70% of all the information that we have inside is from the subconscious. So it's the deep waters of the subconscious related to Scorpio. The rest, the unconscious and the conscious, are very tiny compared to the big amount of information that we hold in the subconscious, which is the dark waters from within. So all the information that makes us be what we are is in those waters. So what happens? That the 70% of our mind is trying to survive constantly, because the 4 waters will try to do everything as possible to keep us alive. So it will use all this data, all this information from around to in its own benefit, which is survival. So basically what the subconscious would do is to earn energy and to save energy. We have spoken about this. We have spoken about storage energy. So what the body is trying to do is, if there is any problem outside, if there is any conflict in the outer world, if it doesn't deserve my attention, because it's not a specific problem that I would have, so my body will say, don't touch it, don't worry about it, I won't waste any energy in that conflict if it is not mine. The soul says, oh, but I want to solve this problem, I want to go and do something and transcend and to prove and to learn, but it's only 1 against 4. Okay, these other 4 inside, these other 4 humors are trying to make you survive and be safe as possible. So any conflict around, it's not my problem unless it's really, really my problem and I have to put energy on it. So imagine this, that our body basically doesn't want to waste energy in anything because it wants to survive. But our brain was designed to solve problems. So our brain is saying, I need something to solve. I need something to find balance, to find equilibrium. But the body says, I don't want. I just want to sleep, to stay calm and not do anything that is not for me. So what is our brain doing? It takes the mind and uses the mind to create parallel realities. Okay, so it could solve problems in different realities which are not real. It's just an illusion. So the brain starts to design solutions, problems that doesn't exist. So this ability that the brain has to create different realities that are not true is basically the main key that makes us be what we are, humans. Humans are able to create, to be creative. This is the basis of every culture, of every religion, of every society, every science, every discovery, every art. Everything is basically trying to solve problems that are not real. And that's basically the most important thing that we have, the invention, the ability to create. So this ability is the one that can create 1,000 solutions for only one problem, because the brain creates 1,000 problems that are being solved at the same time. And that's what makes us be intelligent. And one of those main attributes of the mind is humor, because humor is the ability to create parallel realities. It's the ability to create realities or situations that are not real by themselves. So when I say about humor, remember that we have 5 humors. So it's not just to make jokes and laugh. It's about, maybe my humor is really bad. I am really angry all the time, choleric, melancholic humor. We have 5. So in each one of these 5 humors, I can create parallel realities. And this is what starts to create all the different types of moods, of humors. So remember that there are 4 humors that looks for survival, and 1 humor that looks for transcendence. These 4 humors that are trying to make us survive are the 4 humors that create parallel realities in order to makes us create different ideas in order to not to face the real problems that we have. So basically, what these 4 humors are doing is to deny an external reality and create a new one parallel to the main one. So for example, there is this humor, which is the melancholic humor, that this melancholic humor basically is a lot of sadness, and the people that lives with that humor usually create parallel realities, like different realities that they are very, very heavy, and they just see everything in a dark way. Okay, so they do that in order to not to face their own real problems. So for example, we have different types of humor, of course, the different moods that we have, but let's call it humor because it's the correct thing for what we are talking now. The different humors, we have, for example, one of them is the melancholic one, the other one is the flaming one, I don't know how do you say it, and another one is the choleric. Okay, so the choleric is one of the most used today, and but the choleric, for example, you have a choleric person is someone that has a humor to that it's always angry, like rah, like always mad with everything. That's that humor. always mad. So the body says, I don't want to waste energy fighting with anything, any problem around. So what does this? It takes a mood that we call the dark sarcasm, the dark mood. We would say when we do these heavy jokes, like this kind of humor. It comes from the choleric, because the brain says, if I laugh about this heavy thing that makes me mad, so I kind of solve it. Okay, I kind of resolve it when I am laughing about it. The reason why the choleric humor, no, sorry. In our times, in our society today, we use a lot the black humor, okay, the dark humor, and we use the dark humor because black humor, dark humor, whatever. We use that all around the globe because there are so many conflicts, so many problems, so many wars and problems, conflicts that we have around everywhere, and we can see all of them, that we activate the choleric humor. We are angry all the time as a humanity. So this is why we activate the black humor, okay? Because our brain says, I cannot solve it, so somehow, if I laugh about it, I solve it. So remember that there is another thing. Humor basically is something that we use to survive. So remember, a few days ago, we have spoken about something that also was used to protect ourselves, which is poison, venom. Okay? So that humor is the one that we have to learn to make medicine from. So in order to find the medicine, we have this humor, which is the soul humor. And the humor of the soul is to expand itself. It's not to survive. So if these four are the ones trying to protect me and to make me escape from the conflicts of life, this other one will be the one helping me to transcend and to expand in life. So this humor is the one that, first of all, helped me to laugh of myself. Is the one that allows you to laugh from your own self, laugh of life, and enjoy life by laughing. When someone learns how to laugh from itself, is when we start to connect with the soul. So basically, these four humors are the ones that tries to protect you. So when you are trying to protect yourself, you won't laugh to your own weakness, because you are trying to protect your weakness. So you are laughing from the outside. But when you start to learn how to laugh about yourself, you recognize that there is no weakness to protect. That the only way you can transcend that weakness is by expanding yourself. So I hope that with this, we can understand the history of humor and how to use it. Okay. So so the people that doesn't usually have humor, the people that is very serious and doesn't have humor at all, usually um, usually they are very weak inside because they don't have the they need something to feel the potential, like they don't want to lose the balance of um, um, because they feel weak inside. So um, that's why some people doesn't have humor. And of course, there's the opposite with people that use comedy. The comedian, for example, that usually most of them they are very people that have suffered a lot, that they have a suffering inside, and they use the laughter as a way to protect themselves. So basically, who takes life very seriously can't arrive anywhere, and the people who laugh too much, they won't be able to listen properly. So there was a time that there was a being from the seventh dimension in a channeling that he said, uh, usually some people believe that um, to reach the enlightenment in the seventh dimension, you have to meditate a lot and to be very serious and doing this and constantly be like very straight like this. And 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 they said, but that's not how you reach enlightenment. Basically, from the fifth dimension, from this seventh dimension, when we see a human doing like this, it's like a bunch of atoms, like in this position, like this, and nothing else. So basically, this is just for balance and alignment. This is for another thing, but not for the enlightenment. So in the seventh dimension, everyone is laughing because laughter is the expansion. This is why we have to laugh much more. So every day now we are doing these alignments because we are trying to align ourselves, but we have to mix it with some laughter too. So I know that there's a lot of people in the spiritual world that they are very like serious and they feel like everything must be very doctrinary and so on. But that's useful for one part of the path. The doctrine, the dogma is to be quiet and serious is useful for a part of it, for a part of the path. But then when you have to expand in the universe, the dogma will catch you. Okay, you have to expand, and basically to feel the whole universe is basically like such a huge laughter with an orgasm, and you cannot control that with anything. It happens like that. So relax. So we have to laugh a little bit more. Let's go to the line. Let's go to the alignment. Some people were asking about the talks. How do you call it in English? Obsession, compulsive obsession, obsessive disease, something like that, maybe. So that we would say is is basically what I explained already. It's a disorder that basically is your humor trying to protect yourself from problems that you don't know how to solve. So this is why the brain creates like something to protect themselves from that problem. But I explain it better in the blog. If you read the blog, you will have it more explained. So another thing about humor is that we have heard about a lot about the limits of humor. And there's no limits in humor, because humor is a projection, a perception from the soul. So the soul is expansion. That's the most important thing. So if it's expansion, so there's no limit. We cannot put a limit into humor. If I don't like humor, some kind of humor, it doesn't mean that humor is bad. Okay, it means that it's not in the same vibration as me. That's it. Okay, putting limits to the humor basically is like saying that the mental institution, mental institutions are useful for the mental diseases, something like that. So it's not like that. Okay, there's no limits in humor. There's only different chakras from where you express humor. Okay, so another thing of bullying, the concept of bullying. It's very difficult to say exactly what is bullying, because as the humor is, there's no limits in the bullying, because any joke can be bullying depending on the perception of the person. Okay, so for some people, some jokes that I do with my friends is bullying. For other people, it's simple friends doing jokes. So it really depends what is bullying. But basically what we have to understand is that we are putting today too much attention to the person that receives the bullying than the person that makes the bullying. And bullying, which is a different kind of humor, this bullying is born from the four humors that are all about survival. So the person that makes the bullying is a very weak person within that needs to survive, and before something happens to him, attacks. It's like an animal that attacks just in case. Okay, that's the bullying. So what we have to do is to work with the person that makes the bullying to see what are their weaknesses and how to solve it. Because the problem is not the bull, it's the bully. Okay, so we have to work not punishing the bully, but healing the bully. That's an important perception. About the message from yesterday, I will speak about it tomorrow, because otherwise it will be very long. Let's go to the alignment. Sit comfortable. We start to move our shoulders in circles, releasing the tension that we have. And I focus only in my breathing. Oh, sorry. I forgot about the information for today. Sorry. The vibration for today is Va. The statement for today is I am the divine transmutation. The code for today is the fifth dimension. The dimension of masters is the projection of unity through time and space. For once the process of the material entity is done, the fifth point marks a new level, a contemplation point, the top of the pyramid of four bases, the one that sees it all. It's the plane known as heaven, or the place where guides, masters, and angels observe and guide in the process without any time or space. Close your eyes, observing only your breathing, letting all the weight of your shoulders fall down. Breathing in, breathing out. Take a deep breath. As you breathe, take a moment to think, to imagine all the people that you know. Picture all of them around you, the closest ones, and those who are very far, the last ones, in which you can think about. The good people and the bad people, those who hurt you, and those who makes you good. All of them around you. And I become aware that the light of the sun, the light of the I am that surrounds me, is also surrounding all of them equally. I perceive the light between each one of them. With my eyes closed, as I move my head around to watch all these people, I can see different people at every place that I see, that I watch, and all of them are surrounded by the light. And now I realize that the light that is shining comes from within, from my inner body, from my own self, shining brighter on each one of those people around me. I see my bright, shining on them. Like the light in the waves of the sea. And I recognize that each one of them is a wave in this ocean. I am water. Take a deep breath and manifest. I desire to find the true humor of my soul. And for that, I descend to the depths of the soul. Take a deep breath and go deep, perceiving how the light is above and you are heading to the darkness of the ocean. I feel the pressure of the water in my body as I descend deeper and deeper. Around me, there's only darkness. I feel the pressure of all the people that create the waves of my sea. And I perceive that all the pressure that I received, good and bad, positive or negative, in me, here, is just neutrality. They are all one. And from here, I activate the vibration of my being. Va, 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 I am the divine transmutation. I am the divine transmutation. I am the divine transmutation. Within me, all the different potentials, positive and negatives, from the soul are transmutated. And inside the darkness, in the depths of my soul, I smile, smile. Under the pressure of all the people I know, under the pressure of the unconscious and the subconscious, I smile. Smile. In the name of Intaka, she was called by our energy today from the Andes mountains with the energy of the Andins to connect from the sea and the mountains, their children's, the new humanity. She said, "You are the kids, we are the kids that have come here to transform the idea into life. And for that, they support us as we support them." And she reminds us, laugh humans, laugh humans, laugh humans. And your laughter will be heard beyond to eternity. Take a deep breath. I take my hands to my heart, and from there I begin to press and to massage the chest and all the body, coming back here and now. And each one at its own time, open your eyes. So thank you everyone for being there. And so this is how our emotional week on Scorpio begins. See you tomorrow at the same time as always. Bye.